As many as 2 million refugees have fled Ukraine at this point, and local nonprofits are stepping in to help. World Vision has sent workers to Romania, which is along Ukraine's southern border. Stephen Edwards manages the humanitarian emergency affairs for World Vision US. He joins us live this morning with a look at what local workers are doing. Stephen, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So what is World Vision doing right now to assist people who are fleeing the violence in Ukraine?
Yeah, thanks. We do have an office in Romania. We're currently working in refugee camps along the border with Romania, and then we're also trying to scale up our response to include other countries. Where our goal is to have a multi-country response that would include Ukraine first, because we're seeing the greatest level of needs there in Ukraine, of course, but as well as Moldova, potentially Poland, and potentially Georgia. So right now, we're trying to meet the most acute, basic emergency needs. So providing emergency assistance items to hospitals, to refugee camps, to those that have fled the war. And then we're also simultaneously trying to scale up that response to include more medium-term, long-term programming to assist people as this conflict drags on.
And what are the biggest challenges right now for World Vision workers as they're trying to help these refugees?
Right now, the biggest challenge is probably just logistics. It's scaling up the number of staff we have on the ground available to help, scaling up the amount of supplies that we have to be able to provide. Of course, right now, the needs greatly exceed probably the assistance that is available. And so our goal as an organization is to kind of divert resources towards that response. And so we're now sending resources towards that area, both financial and also in items to distribute, and as well as staffing resources to try to scale that up to the point that we can actually meet the level of need that we're seeing.
And we're obviously seeing so many pictures and videos, just heartbreaking images of people who are fleeing their war-torn region. What sort of stories are you hearing from the refugees?
Most people are just expressing sorrow about the circumstances. This is not the type thing that they ever anticipated happening. Of course, they were, living normal lives, much like we do. And then war has forced them to flee. And so it's a lot of shock. It's a lot of people not knowing what to do next, where to go next, and also being concerned about family members, friends that they've left behind that may still be in conflict zones.
And what's the best way for people here at home to be able to help World Vision?
Put simply, the best thing you can do is donate. Worldvision.org has many ways to donate. It's listed there and different opportunities. But essentially, as I was saying earlier, we're trying to scale up. We're trying to increase our resources in that area. And the best way that you can support us doing that is by donating to our organization. I can assure you that those donations, I am responsible for sending those to the field. I'm doing that as soon as possible, whenever those are coming in on a weekly basis. So that is essentially what can help most at this time. It's just helping us scale up our resources so that we're able to increase the amount of assistance that we're providing.
And I was going to ask you that. Can people actually specify that their money goes to that effort?
Yes, to the recruit. We have a specific donation portal set up for the Ukrainian response, the Ukraine crisis response. And so your funding will be directed directly to that response. So it will be going directly to our field offices, helping people in need.
Stephen Edwards with World Vision US, we thank you so much for your time this morning and the work that you're doing there.
Thank you. Have a good
You too. And as the humanitarian crisis continues to grow more dire every single day, there are many different ways that you can help. You can obviously donate to World Vision, but there are other organizations that you can trust as well. If you want a link to those organizations, just simply text the word HELP to 206-448-4545.